I'm Peter Campbell from Wagon Pizza Company. It's Pizza Week in AZ Cook's kitchen. So when you make dough at home, some people feel a little daunted by this idea. Relax. You can't screw up. First things first, you got to figure out what kind of flour are you going to use. We use a partially whole grain, organic, locally milled flour. A lot of the wheat germ is still left in it, and there's a little bit of nutritional value to the flour compared to most all-purpose flours. So once all of your ingredients are portioned out, in this recipe we have 0.64 pounds. And I know that might sound strange to weigh water opposed to have it be by volume, but when baking, I find it a lot easier, especially when creating dough, to stick with one measurement. If I'm gonna measure the flour by weight, I wanna do the same thing with my water, my salt, and my yeast. Once the dry active yeast is in the water, I want to kind of get it moving around a little bit. So we'll turn the mixer on. The water can be cold. If it's warm, you got to move a little faster. If the water's cold, it gives you a little bit more time because that yeast has to activate. And it can be kind of clumpy. That's all right too. We're going to add the flour. Don't stick to one level on your mixer. You'll want to kind of play with it to see what's right for the size dough you're making. Now that I can see that the water and the dough is starting to incorporate, I want to start to get the flour to come off the sides of the bowl, and I do that by just simply speeding up the mixer a little bit. You're going to want to mix it for 2 to 3 minutes until everything's incorporated. So now we've got a ball that's essentially mixed, but it's kind of shaggy. You can kind of see how it's not fully incorporated. What we want to do now is set it back in the bowl and cover it and let it rest for roughly 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you're gonna add salt to the dough. You're gonna put it back on the mixer until you have a smooth ball. Now the question is, when do you wanna make pizza? Do you wanna make pizza tomorrow? If that's the case, cover the bowl, put it in your refrigerator for 24 hours, pull it out tomorrow. If you wanna have pizza tonight, you'll want to cover the bowl and put it in a dry, warm environment. That will help the ball double in size. That's what we're looking for. By putting it in the refrigerator, you slow that process down. Once your dough ball is doubled in size, as it has here, you take it out of the bowl, get it out on a flat surface, try to get an idea of how much dough do you have. Based on the size that we went with, I'm looking for about 210 grams per dough ball. This is another one, and that's another one. So now that you have your dough balls portioned, we take our dough balls and we start by one, getting all the air out of the ball itself. By curling over the dough ball and pushing it into itself, it looks like I'm kneading the dough. I'm really not. What I'm doing is I'm pushing all the air pockets out, and I want those air pockets out because once we get into the oven, and that heat, no matter what heat you cook a pizza at, those air pockets will want to pop out and cause havoc on your crust. So the initial ball has been complete. It's ready to be formed. So I take the smooth side, leave that up, and now I'm going to make a rotating motion with my hands. And everybody balls dough differently. Some people will just take it and they'll grab the dough ball, they squeeze it. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You're looking for a round dough ball because this step will ensure you'll have a round pizza. Now, you're gonna want this to rest for maybe 15, 20 minutes. I would cover it with perhaps a cheesecloth, something that will ensure that it doesn't get dried out on the top. But what you're looking for is that dough ball to do its secondary proof and kind of double in size. Not entirely, but mostly double in size. It's up to you. Are you gonna make pizza tonight? What are you gonna put on it? What's in the refrigerator?